Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Chronicles of a Crafter. I have so much on my desk right now that I have to show you guys. So this morning it all started with this little guy right here. I needed an envelope. Well, it started with this one. I found this envelope or what looks like an envelope, in my stash of things that I wanted to create, and this envelope, or this picture of an envelope or image of an envelope, was like cut off on the sides and the top, and it really doesn't look like a full airmail or international mail envelope. So I went ahead and pulled my stencil and folded some craft card and made this. So this was like, you know, right about there, and I just painstakingly went in with my two roller pens here. This I got at the Dollar Tree, blue and pink. And I used pink because I know airmail is blue and red, or it's supposed to be red, white, and blue, but on craft card I figured the pink will show up a little bit better than a red marker. So I just went in and stenciled by hand all of this this imaging all over this piece of craft card right here. So that happened, and then I folded it up and turned it into an envelope by simply gluing the sides. All right, so in the process of doing that, I was like, well, it kind of looks like an envelope, but only on the outside, back side of the paper. So what I went ahead and did was cut this card. This is just an old membership card to a wine club or something that I belong to, and I cut this card with various angles on it to make my envelope stencil a little bit easier. So let me find my envelope stencil. Okay, so here's my envelope stencil. Alright, and of course there's multiple folds all over the place because I just was not sure how, or whatever, how it's gonna go, right? So I placed my card along the sides of the paper, cut off there, flipped it over, cut off here. Alright, so now we have something that kind of looks like an envelope, but then I went in, cut a different angle on here, placed it up against there, cut that off, and then over here, same thing, cut that off. All right, so now we have something that looks a little bit more, or resembles a little bit more like an envelope. And the reason why there's multiple folds everywhere is because I needed it to fit this stencil right here. So I'll give you the measurements of my paper. I took an 8.5 by 11 sheet of craft card paper. Here, let me back you up a little. Okay, so now you have the full view of my crazy desk, that is. You don't want to know my crazy. So anyway, I took an 8.5 by 11 sheet, and I came up with this. Okay, so this measures, I believe, 4 3/4, or just about 4 7/8, maybe. Let's just double check. So yeah, 4 7/8, let's say. And that's because this measures 4 3/4 width, okay? So I knew that in order for this to fit on here, to have a little bit of border around all 4 sides of the back of the envelope, I would need a little bit on each end. So 4 7/8 is what I came up with. So that's what I did with these two pieces. I just took this sheet, cut off 4 7/8, and I ended up with this little piece right here of scrap. Okay, I'll probably use it in something. In fact, here's what I did with the previous scrap. I just made a bunch of tags and you know, little things to go into my journals with my Civics. So here we are with this, and here's my envelope template. Now I could just go in and do this like that, mark it, cut it, but that kind of defeats the purpose of having this, right? So I just went ahead and measured up the envelope, or the paper, which will become the envelope, And we can just cut this off right here. I'm so confident that just happened. Alright, and I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, so now we have that. I'm going to take my card, put it down at the bottom of the sheet. Again, this is just 4 7/8 width by 8.5. Okay. Cut that off and then flip it over to the other side and cut this off. Alright. So now we need to determine where our paper folds. Okay. So let me just grab my scoreboard and I can tell you what the fold marks are on this particular sheet. So if you're holding your envelope with the top to the right, the first score mark is at 3. Easy peasy. The second one is at 6.5. Oh my gosh, it couldn't, I'm sorry, 6 and, what is that? 6 and 3/8? That's weird. Anyway, 6 and 3/8 is the second one. So 3 and then 6 and 3/8. Or, yeah, 3/8. Okay? So I'm just going to do that right here. 3. Whoa. And then 6 and 3/8, which happens to be a little dot. That's why I couldn't tell what it was. But, and I'm using craft paper, not craft card. So this is just some craft paper that I thought I was purchasing that was self-adhesive. Turned out it wasn't self-adhesive. So now I have a stack of this craft paper. Alright, so it's a little bit heavier than copy paper, a little bit lighter than cardstock, and yeah, gotta use it up. So here's my template. When folded, here's my envelope that I just made. Okay, so this works. That's my point. Like, if you cut a card to make a template, now you have a template, but you still have your card. Instead of trying to line this up and making that fit it, you just use your card and, you know, it all works out. Anyway, so let me move all of this stuff out of the way. Alright, so that was the beginning of the issue. Well, not the issue, but, you know, the beginning of my morning. I started off with this, wanting to make one of these, and now I have that. Okay, so in the process of all of that, I was like, well, what am I going to stick this envelope into? And I happen to have all of these. I used to be an Avon lady. In my past life, I was an Avon lady, and I have all of these paper bags from Avon. Okay, fairly decent quality bags. They are made from recyclable materials, at least I believe they are, or they are recyclable, so, and reusable. So that's what I'm doing right here. I am recycling, reusing, repurposing these paper bags because I'm no longer an Avon person. So I'm going to make me a little tiny journal. Okay, that's where we're headed, making a junk journal out of a paper bag. So, in my hunt for everything airmail, I found all of these stamps and little sentiments and labels in my Tim Holtz Expeditions packaging, as well as some other little stamps and whatnot. These are stickers from my Your Creative Studio box that I got back in, I don't know, February or so. So yeah, I pulled all of these little things from the Expedition packaging. It's a Tim Holtz snippets package. Kind of looks a little something like this, except this one is field notes. So this was right here filled with a bunch of snippets, and here they are. This is the Expedition snippets right here. Okay, so that's that, and this one is just a general snippets pack, ephemera pack. Okay, so yeah, I pulled all of that, and What else do I have here? Oh, some more. Okay. Yeah, I just pulled whatever I could find from my collections and just, you know, working through it. Okay. Sorry guys for the noise. All right, so on my envelope I also have this little stamp, this little postage stamp, which is one of these maybe. Oh, it's this one. This I got from like a Heidi Swap little silicone stamp, so it's this one right here. Okay. All right, so that's that. Back to the paper bag journal. So again, this is fairly decent quality paper. I will be lining it with, this is framer's tape. It's a little bit shiny, but I can live with that. So I will be reinforcing the spine with framer's tape. But this right here, be it a pocket, it's already there, you know, self-made pocket. I wanted it to be a little bit deeper than that, so I wanted it to kind of like go the length of this envelope. I'm sorry, this paper bag. So let me just try that and see where I end up. And let's just see. So I'm guessing like this is the section right here. Oh, what I did was I just slipped my mini cutting board down inside of here so I can have a surface to cut on, and it fits down inside of here perfectly. So yeah, that's what I did. And now I'm going to use my ruler and my craft knife and cut along that line, or that fold mark, which is this section right here. Okay, at least, yeah. So just gonna slit it open and hope for the best. Couple of passes with the craft knife, and it doesn't have to go all the way to the edge, and I'll show you why. Okay, pulled out my little cutting board, place that back on here. Yeah, so tried and failed. Now I see that I need to cut these two sides right here. Okay, so let me just show you what I mean. So when you stick your hand down, this is my pocket now, right? I can only get to about here because of these two sides right here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. Thought it would have been a little bit easier than this, but it's okay. This is crafting 101. If you want crafting 225, you're going to have to go down the hall. But this is beginners crafting. Go check out another channel if you want professional crafting. But yeah, I'm just going to snip that. And I'm going to snip this side. Okay, so now we have this, and again, there's still something not quite right. I should have practiced this before coming on here to tell you guys how to do it. Alright, so let's see what else is missing. What else do I need to cut? This folds up like so. So I think I need to cut all the way across. I'm trying to keep the integrity of the back side of the bag in place. So let's just open it up. Okay. And now I can see, like, I need all of this to be removed. So I'm just cutting it on the straight. trying not to deconstruct the entire bag in order to do this, but okay. Now let's see what we get. Okay, much better. So now this right here becomes a full pocket, and I will be gluing these flaps down, okay? And the entire pocket is now back here on this side. All right, so let's see. Yep, so now this back part is my pocket only. All right, that was some work. Okay, so let's just do that. I'm gonna glue down these flaps, and let's see, I'm gonna use, let's use some PVA white glue. I know it's gonna wrinkle, but it's okay. Okay. There's that, and this one. So I just glued down these two flaps right here, keeping this section out of the way. Okay. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now we have this as our pocket. And I'm just gonna lift it so that no other area is glued in the process. And I'm gonna stick a piece of card down in there to make sure that it doesn't stick to anything else. Okay, this way if it sticks to the card, I can just rip that away and I won't lose anything. All right, so now we have this as our pocket, and I'm going to determine where the fold is going to go. So with this larger pocket now, I can fold this in half basically. And yep, so this will now be the size of our journal. And I can give you the measurements of this. It is folded, it's 6.5 by 6.5. Okay, 6.5 by 6.5. The entire bag obviously is 12 by 6.5. So yeah, yep, 6.5 by 6.5, or 13 by 6.5. The entire bag is 13 by 6.5. All right, and I'm going to bone fold my creases in. And I want my other large opening pocket to be on the right hand side. Okay, so I'm guessing this is stuck. Pull those out, and I'm going to use some framer's tape to support my spine. So I'm just going to pull out a large section of it. The good thing about framer's tape is that it's not very sticky on a surface, but it is quite sticky when it sticks to itself. So what I'm going to do is pull this all the way over to the front, or the inside. I'm going to fold this down across the center and snip that off, and then I'm going to fold this up and get it to touch itself right there, and bone fold it, or you know, brayer it in. And then I'm going to place my crease back in here. And get a nice crease on that as well. Okay, so, oops, now we have that. So that was a good thing that that happened. I can now see that I need to reinforce some of these areas here with just a little bit of glue. And on this side. And again, I'm just using some white PVA glue on this project. Okay. Alright, so here we go. Here's this. There's our pocket right down in there. I can glue this section down as well because I won't be needing it. I'm just gonna use some glue stick on that. And glue stick over here. I know my desk is crazy right now. It's just one of those days. Like I just woke up this morning and was like, I need to do this, and let's just see how it goes. And I'm going to reinforce all of this section back here. Okay. Alright, because I'm using PVA glue, it's going to be a little bit too dry, so I'm just going to let this dry for a moment and work on my next step. And you can even run run this through the sewing machine and get your pocket nice and detailed right there. I might do that, but for now I'm just going with this. Okay, so yeah, that's that. On the inside part of this pocket, oh, you know what, I want to do a little bit of collaging right here, and the easiest way to do that I found is with this pre-collaged washi tape. So I'm just going to do that. And let me find a spot to open it. Alright, so I'm just going to lay this collage music paper slash mail. I don't know. It's just a random collaging washi tape. And I'm just going to place that down right in here. It's like some sort of correspondence. Like there's letters and shipping labels and whatnot. I'm just going to cheat and put this down right in here as my pocket liner. And cut away the excess. Without cutting my pocket. And there's a nice little piece of tape I can use on my Sizzix to hold my dies down. That's the good thing about washi, it's that it does not, it's not a permanent adhesive unless you brayer it down. Am I using the right term there? Brayer it? I mean, my brayer is a wheel. Burnish, that's what I'm looking for. The term is burnish. Again, this is Crafting 101. And not all the terminology comes naturally to me as it does to those of you attending Crafting 225 down the hall. Alright, so burnishing down my image, not brayering it, and I think, yeah, it's pretty much stuck down there. I'm just going to snip away the excess on the sides a little. I usually put a bit of glue stick underneath my washies, but it's okay. Where is my glue stick? I have the cover, no glue. Oh, here it is. Okay, so now I know for a fact that this is going to be my pocket right here. So what am I going to do on the outside of this pocket? Well, I can. Alright, so here's my center fold. I'm going to burnish this down right here. Alright, so here's my center spine. Here's my pocket. Oh yeah, that's nice and deep. It goes all the way to here. Okay, so there's that. Yeah, I guess if I'm not going to sew it, I can just glue these two sides down. And to do that, I'm using art glitter, because I want a quick permanent hole. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit of glue here on one side, pop a little bit of glue here on the other side, and I'm thinking if I want a thumb notch or not. Probably not. Let's not do a thumb notch. You know it's a pocket. You don't need a thumb notch. Of course, my paper is a little bit wonky, so the glue is not touching at a certain point. So I'm just going to use a dry wipes and wipe away the excess that's not touching. Okay. And that is art glitter, so it'll dry fairly quickly. Okay. Yeah, so these are my dies that I pulled out. This is a slatted pocket die. I was going to put one here on, can you see that? Down here on this side, but I think I need to cover this up first because there's a lot going on back here. So to do that, nothing like a little bit of craft card. So yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna line this pocket with some craft card, and yeah, that's what I want to do. Oh, I can move this out of the way now. Don't need that anymore. Okay, and I'm just going to put a little dot on all four corners. Okay, and that's what I'm going to cut out with my mini guillotine. I'm going to cut it a little wide. This way I don't mess this up. All right. So then I'm going to place this back on top of my pocket. And I think I can cut away maybe another 1/4 of an inch or so. Somewhat perfect. Okay, let's do this. Move all of this out of the way. I'm going to use my art glitter because it's here. there are things all over the place. And yes, they're falling all over the floor. So, yeah, a lot going on here. Okay, tons of art glitter. Probably could have got away with using glue stick on that, but it's okay. Oh, and this is my new little spine dangle. Well, it's not really new. I just made this the other day. It's my little glue topper dangle. And I did it with a pin, like a jewelry pin. But I found that the jewelry pin is a little bit too thick. It's like it doesn't have a point to it. So getting it to go down in there sometimes takes a little bit of work, especially if there's glue on the pin. It just doesn't want to just flow straight down inside of there. But I thought it was pretty cute when I did it, and I went ahead and did another one for my Fabrifix. So anyway, while this is ready to go, I'm gonna go ahead and place this right here. Yep, that happened. Yeah, art glitter does not give you much time. There's no wiggle room involved when it comes to using art glitter. So wherever you've placed your paper, I hope you're happy with it. Okay, so there's that. Okay, and I noticed that my bag has like a little angled corner, so I'm just going to snip that away. And yeah, this pocket also has a little bit of excess, so I'm just going to snip that away. Okay, alright, so now I can place this down here on a clean surface without any crazy going on behind it, and then tuck a bunch of little cute things in it, like this cute little tag, okay, or this one. But this is a very large slatted pocket or tuck, so I thought that would look cute right there. Nice color. And then on this side I can put a duplicate one, or I can just put a regular pocket. I'll line this side as well. You know, we're working on the inside. Wait till you see the outside. Like, I'm gonna have to do all of that all over again out here, because what is this? This is just a white paper bag. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to line the entire thing in craft paper, which you're probably thinking, well, why didn't you just use a brown paper bag? Yeah, the epic minds of a crafter. So with this slat card, you just want to get a little bit of glue all the way around the edge, not in between the slats, otherwise you won't be able to put anything in there. And I'm going to glue the top down as well. So basically, wherever there's like this little stitch, the dotted stitch marks, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can zoom in for you, but like, see those dotted stitch marks? It's part of the die cut. So everywhere there's those dotted stitch marks is where you want to put glue. Never put it on the slats itself. Alright, so I'm just going to centrally place this close to the bottom. On here. And I'm just using my dry wipes to clean up any excess or any mess. Okay, so now we have that. Okay, I'm going to line the opposite side of the bag with craft card as well. or craft paper, I should say, because again, this is not cardstock or anything. And I'm not even going to pull out my guillotine. I'm just going to scissor cut this. I just made a straight line. I think I can. Well, in all honesty, I don't really know when my camera stopped recording. I bought some generic batteries for my DSLR camera, and yeah, they just did not work out for me. But then when I went to try to return it to the vendor, they wouldn't take it back. So it was a whole thing. I had to contact Amazon and be like, what is up with this? It does not work. Like, 1 minute I'm recording, the next I'm not. And I'm almost positive that's what just happened. So yeah, my camera shut off. So I don't really know how much of that you saw. I may have just been running my mouth for no reason, like I had nothing of importance to share. But yeah, so I don't know how much of that you saw, but my camera stopped recording. Anyway, moving on to my thumb notch. I'm gonna grab my, oh, let's see, maybe my 2.5 inch. This crazy guy that I need to make sure my hands are out of the way for. Yeah, I'm just gonna put a little tiny thumb notch right there. Isn't that cool? All right, and next, I was saying I have to find a craft card or a journaling card to go into this nice double pocket that I've created for myself back here. So while this is still wet, I'm just gonna go look for a journaling card this size, I guess, to go in here. So I'll be right back. All right, well, I didn't find a card, so I went ahead and made one. So I collaged this really quickly. It's still tacky, still drying, and I just popped a little tab in at the top right there, and then I just Washicollage this one with some other pages stuck underneath it, and now I'm going to just pop a coordinating eyelet in there for that one. And I'm using the larger of the two crocodile hole punches, so that's the 3/16, and I just found a little purple eyelet, and I'm just gonna squash this through here like so. Okay, so now we have that cute little thing. I don't know if this is cute or not. Like, I'm having a hard time dealing with the symmetricalness of this. Like, I just cut it out like with my hand, so there's no measuring involved. I couldn't even tell you what I did. I just took some craft card. Oh, this one I did wrap in the framer's tape. So yeah, just to distract you from the non-symmetrical, though the asymmetrical shape of this card. Anyway, now I have two same size cards. I'm just going to tuck them into this pocket here. One in the front and one in the back. And yeah, and then we'll take a look at how we're going to decorate the outside. Okay, so now we have that. I think that's somewhat, like, that's still very cute. Like, and we haven't even put any paper in here yet. So yeah, I think the craft paper kind of reinforces the paper bag itself. So, you know, I could have used a brown paper bag, but the craft paper is really giving this some form and definition. So I'm really happy with that. In fact, I will continue to craft paper the outside as well until we decide what we're going to do on the outside. I can get 6.5 on here. So I will first score it. And that's my cut line. Okay. Yep, that's looking pretty good. I can take off a smidgen at the top, but I think I'll do that by hand so that I don't overcut, you know. So yeah, let's just do this with some glue stick everywhere. And today I'm not using my Scotch Create. This is my Avery glue stick. It's a little bit lighter consistency than the Scotch, but it's still a very permanent hold. But it's just not as thick, or yeah, it's just a little bit lighter consistency basically. So with that, I'm going to go in with art glitter in the corners and along the edges. Just to get a much quicker permanent hold. And again, I do want the framer's tape to show just that much in the spine. Okay. All right, that looks good. Let's do that again on the back side of the flip. I'm gonna have to do this again. I know I do it differently every single time. How do you guys keep up with me? Like, I do it different every time. So I'm just going to mark the edges that needs to be cut. And I'm going to grab my scoreboard. Here's my 6.5. Can you see that? Yeah. So I know that it's 6.5 because of the previous score mark that I made. So right there is my 6.5 score mark. Right up to there. And then I'm going to rotate my paper and score it on the 6 mark. And that should get me a decent back cover for this book. Why didn't I just go all the way down? Okay. Okay. Yep, that's so perfect. Let's go ahead and glue it down. And see what we're going to do about the decor on this bag. I'm such a fan of the washi tape right now, so I may do some Washicollage, which I think I'm coining that phrase, Washicollage. It's cheating. I'm not even gonna lie. It's definitely cheating, but it's simple and it gets the job done. So if you come across any of that 4-inch Washicollage, pick some up, because it does get the job done. So this is what I'm talking about. Okay, it's a 4-inch roll of washi, 1 full sheet, and it's already pre-collaged for you. Okay. consider it. Consider getting some. Okay. Okay, so there's that. And now I know why you would decorate the outside first. I just jumped ahead and got my framer's tape and did a bunch of stuff to the inside, not really thinking about the outside that much. But in reality, my framer's tape should have covered up the outside. Alright guys, unfortunately this is going to have to be a two-parter because I have to go pick up the kids from school. But this is the journal cover with my 2 oversized journaling cards in here. Okay. And the little slatted pocket tuck thingy right over here. Okay, so there's that. Okay. So I can tuck a bunch of things into there. And again, here is a very nice secure pocket on the side over here. So, all right, so that can get tucked down in there like so. So the last thing that I really want to do is pull together this envelope, okay, that I made. So let's just do that. I showed you the template. I showed you the card. Where's the card? Here. So you can either do it this way, that way, however you get to the end result. So I'm just going to use my stencil really quickly. Line it up. I'm knocking everything over because this is a very large stencil. But I'm just going to line it up on the edge here. Okay, just eyeballing the margins on both sides. Try to get it as even as possible. And the best thing to do is clear your surface. Okay, just clear the surface because you're gonna have to hold this in place. Now there may be, I don't know, a die cut that does this, or you can probably just go in with your, you know, inking brush or whatever, but you won't get this same effect as having the colored blue and red stripe envelope looking thingy all the way around. And if you get ink or you know, pen ink on your stencil, it's fine. A little bit of alcohol will get that off. And or even water. I think pen ink, yeah, it's water soluble, so just wipe it away. Okay, so here we have a duplicate envelope to this one. I am going to put a stamp on here before I stamp it. These stamps are a little large. I do have, oh, I have these washi stamps. Okay, that happened. Yeah, I got these washi stamps here, and I think this right here is doubled up. That's why it ripped. Okay, so I can put, oh, what's this? Vietnam. Nice. I can put this little stamp right here. And then stamp it with one of these. Or one of these. Okay, and yeah, I have some more stamps here I can play with, so I'll just leave that there. But yeah, I can stamp over it with one of these little airmail stamps. I can put a Tim Holtz little ephemera on there. I can use a smaller one. Yeah, I think the smaller one looks better. Yeah, so anyway, guys, I am probably going to leave you right here. We'll pick up with that paper bag journal perhaps tomorrow. And but this is really what I wanted to show you guys, was my little envelope creation. And of course, I did not glue up the sides. So this video is extremely long and all over the place. But yeah. Just going to use a little bit of art glitter glue along the edges here, just to glue up the sides. Put my pin back in if I can. Okay. And I will place my little special delivery sentiment on here. So now we have that cute little envelope. All right, and I had some little tiny airmail. I think that says via airmail, but it's so small. So I'm just going to stamp it with this one. And I'm just going to give that a second to transfer. Okay, well, it didn't transfer as well as I would have liked, but here we have that. Okay. Here, I'll try it again on this one. much better. Okay. So there's these two. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you here. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Stay naturally curious. Bye.